My name is Joyia Kelly, and this is my story. I was born 29 years ago with a very rare heart and lung condition, and back then, the chances of survival was very slim. The anatomy of my heart wasn't formed like a normal heart. I wasn't born with pulmonary arteries. So when I came, to adolescent age, the doctors told me, no having babies or anything like that because the risk would be very, very high. Being on birth control for like 6 days, I developed a pulmonary embolism and almost lost my life. So birth control was like not an option either. So when I got married, at the time my insurance wouldn't cover to have my tubes tied. So it was very, difficult. Being that I'm a believer, I was like, well, I just trust God. I went to my gynecologist and was trying to find other options of birth control, low dose birth control, because I knew before that I had the clot. And she prescribed a pill, and I debated if I wanted to take it, did research, and come to the conclusion that I didn't want to take it because that also causes clot. A week after that, a lady, when I was living in McDonough, Georgia, came to the store that I was working at, and she asked me, do you have any kids? And I was like, no, doctors say I shouldn't have any children. And she was like, well, do you believe in prophecy? And I'm like, yeah. So she began to start praying for me, and she was telling me exactly what was going to happen. And she's like, oh, and by the way, the first one's a girl. And I'm thinking, first one? Like, I remember praying to God, like, if I can be pregnant with one child, if I could just get pregnant one time, I would be happy. About a month later, we moved back to this area and started going back to Victory. I was just alone, having a conversation with God. And I was like, okay, God, if it's not meant for me to have children, or birth any kids, I want to at least, adopt before I turn 30. And a week later, I found out I was pregnant. That was around Mother's Day of last year, and then around Memorial Day. And my mom was in town, and I go to the OB and get checked and stuff like that. And when they did the ultrasound, the tech was like, there's 2 sacs. She's like, you're having twins. And I looked over at my mom like, okay, I'm having twins. Like, we were just in shock because, mind you, I'm not even supposed to have one, technically, and I'm having 2. So that was a very big thing, to know that God was giving me 2 for the price of 1, so to speak. They told me that I should terminate, that the chances of survival is very slim, that I have a 70% chance of not making it. We prayed about it, and we decided to continue because the Lord told us to continue. It was definitely a trying time, but, thank God, the prayers of the righteous availeth much. We had tons of people praying for us. There was a time when, in the process of me saying yes to them, I had to get on a medication, which took a catheter because that was the safest drug during the pregnancy. And during that procedure, everything was fine. And when they were done, they would ask me, am I okay, while they were prepping me to take me back. They developed this thing called Cold Kelly. I was the first birth in over 25 years to be, delivered there. So it was a big to-do, this pregnancy was a big to-do, and in all of it, I give God the glory because, just in my stay there, just being a light to everybody and, being that young girl who the doctors told in the beginning I wouldn't make it past 5. And then when I made it past 5, then it gave me another age. And then after that, they gave, it was always something. But God, kept me. And I just thank Him that I'm a resilient woman.